What's going on, guys? It's your boy, John Liquidator, coming back with another video. And it looked like Ryan Clark of ESPN might be finna crash out. For this one here, we got to go all the way up to New York. Let's get it. Let's go. Tell you, Ryan Clark on the Pivot Podcast and ESPN sports analyst had a situation with none other than Aaron Rodgers, New York Jets quarterback, Super Bowl winning Aaron, and Aaron is a NFL legend. Now we know Aaron Rodgers ain't been having the best season thus far, but do that take away from his greatness? I don't believe so. You know, Aaron Rodgers coming off a hell of an injury. It's going to take a minute for him to get back into his groove of things. Do that mean we bash Aaron Rodgers? No. You know, it happens to the best of us. Father time kicks in. But whatever the case may be, a lot of these analysts have been bagging on Aaron Rodgers and pretty much talking crap about him. And I feel like it's not right. Aaron Rodgers' resume is a hell of a good one. And a lot of these football players wish their resume looked like Aaron's. I just got to keep it real. Now, with all that being said, Aaron Rodgers was on the Pat McAfee show pretty much, telling like it is, bro. But a lot of these dudes pretty much talking about him all the time. It's being reported that Ryan Clark should not be in the business of labeling others frauds, yet that is the term he has used to describe Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers over the past few weeks. In a fraud, Clark so clearly wants to make personal. So it looked like he's definitely making this argument with Aaron Rodgers kind of personal. During a recent appearance on the Pat McAfee show, Rodgers jabbed the state of the sports media for using his name to garner fame. On Friday, Clark responded to the segment with the overly emotional rant about who Rodgers is as a person. For this couch, because he's a good player, but there ain't people around here that he come around and talk about what type of leader are you. There ain't people that come around here and talk about wanting to follow you because of the type of man you've been. This dude is a fraud. He's been a fraud, and he could throw a football. That's where it stops. Once that talent ends, so does him, and so does he. Rodgers responded on Tuesday by mocking Clark for needing a brooch with his initials, and so many COVID boosters. So basically, Ryan Clark like put initials on his coats and put initials on everything, his little logo. And Aaron Rodgers definitely poked fun at it because he's trying to say a lot of people do not know who Ryan Clark is. Now, I'll be the first to tell you, Ryan Clark is definitely a football player. You know, he's a pretty good football player, but he didn't really get his notoriety from playing on the field. He got his notoriety from being in the sports media field. Now, with all that being said, uh, Ryan Clark definitely responded to Aaron Rodgers on X, and this is where everything kind of make it look like he ready to crash out. Now, whenever you working in the media, you know what I'm saying, you definitely don't want nobody playing with your name. Now, Ryan Clark work in the media, and he do got a job to do, but to me, I try not to make things personal. This is just my philosophy when reporting on something. Just try not to make it personal. Try to stay neutral and tell the truth. You know, right is right, wrong is wrong. And, you know, if anybody disagrees, it's always the middle. Now, with all that being said, I want you guys to take a listen to what Ryan Clark said about Aaron Rodgers. And he made a post about this on X as well. So let's check out the post. Clark went on to say, I won't let Aaron Rodgers' vast smokescreen distract me from the stretch of tape. He's entitled to his opinion, but say you aren't concerned with what we say is a lie. I mean, that's the reason why we're here, which he kind of got a point there. It's a continuation of his hypocrisy that started with criticizing ESPN analysts while being paid to be in ESPN. Now, he do appear on Pat McAfee's show quite a bit, like he's a part of the show, and I believe he's definitely getting paid to be part of that show. I analyze football and all things involved. Unfortunately, due to his opinion on the field, play is commentary and has been interested than the film. And by the way, I give my accolades as you ask next time you say the name. so we know what you mean. Now, he also made a video, and let's pull this thing up and rock out. Roll the
Wanted to
footage.
make sure all your people knew it was me. Here is why I called Aaron Rodgers, or why I called you a hypocrite. Because you're actually on ESPN talking about my fellow colleagues and the people I work with, saying that now, because they are former players and weren't as great as players of you as you were, you feel like, or they feel like they're the stars. And that's not it. TV has changed. It's more about opinion and the informed opinion of people who have played the game. What's hypocritical about what you said is you said it while on TV with Pat McAfee, who has done an amazing job with this platform. And even though he was an all pro punter, he's now extremely famous and more well known for what he does in his post career. Even more hypocritical of you is that you're sitting across from three people who have never played the game. And they are also entitled to talk about football in a very informed way because if we've learned anything from Mina Kimes, you don't actually have to step on the field to be excellent at the job of analyzing football. And I spoke to that hypocrisy because you were getting paid to do that, which Pat said you deserve to. And that is why you received the money that you did, at least initially, because of what you brought to his platform. Now, let me be clear because I know you want us to list these things. My name is Ryan Clark. Played 13 years in the NFL, been to two Super Bowls. I have as many rings as you do. I was the captain of two separate football teams. I'm also an Emmy winner. I'm also the co host, owner, and partner of an Emmy nominated podcast called The Pivot. Now, I know something else you were very interested in was my vaccination status. And yes, I'm vaxxed because I have no spleen, I have no gallbladder, because of playing in Denver and being willing to go back, honestly, and play again. Because I've been in those locker rooms and I've talked to people that have been in the locker rooms with you. I have the stories, I have all the things that they said that informed my opinion of who you are. And as far as your vaccination status, so you can stop trying to trick people into thinking that we want to talk about that above the stink of your film, I've never heard it one more time after your incident. And the only reason we spoke about it then was because based on your vaccination status, it was going to determine how long you were out. And also, people didn't care that you weren't vaccinated. They cared that you were slimy about it. They cared that you were deceitful about it. And they cared that you had this air of arrogance when answering the questions about it. And you've kind of only been the only person that's talked about it since. But let me be very, very clear. My job is to analyze you. You've decided to analyze me. And in analyzing you, what I know is your QBR is 21st. Also know that you're the quarterback of a 4-10 team who has to win the last three games of the season to even be equal to what last year's team was without you. Now, I get it. You get on the show and you talk about my brooch and you curse and all this tough talk. I just need you to know, don't none of that scare me. I'm going to do my job the way I'm supposed to do it. I feel no way about not being able to talk about what the film says because of what my career was. And if you continue to be arrogant or smug or hypocritical and it pertains to my job, I'm going to do it. And I want to remind you again, I'm Ryan Clark, 13 years, Emmy winner, host of an Emmy nominated podcast. And speaking of that jealousy and guest stuff, The Rock, Kevin Hart, Mike Tomlin, Devontae Adams, Joe Burrow, Shaq, just to name a few. No money, just relationships, conversations, and respect. It's what I tried to give you. And we'll keep it that way as long as you want it like that. Appreciate you.
My friends, that was Ryan Clark pretty much calling out Aaron Rodgers, and I'm just hoping this brother don't crash out, bro. Like, you don't have to go out your way to explain yourself to Aaron Rodgers. You did your take. That was your take. And just let it be, bro. But I really hope he's not crashing out. But get down in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts about this. Keep them bells on because you know I'm going to bring you news. And until next time, dog, shake the haters off. I'm out of here. Peace out. Shake the haters off.